Much of the time, a picture frame is just as much part of a piece of artwork as the piece of artwork itself. Most artists, museum curators, and gallery owners are very particular about how a painting or drawing is displayed. And why wouldn't they be? You could take a perfectly fine piece of art, put it in an awful frame, and all the people would notice would be the frame, not the artwork itself. Frames are meant to enhance a piece of art and complement what the artist has done. Let's look closely at this painting by Turner. It's just a lovely scene from Venice, right? Well, if we look closely in the bottom left-hand corner of the picture, we can see an artist working on his painting at an easel. However, the painting is already in a very big, ornate frame. Why would Turner do this in this painting? Well, I imagine that it's because he couldn't stand the thought of a beautiful oil painting being displayed for the public eye without a big, ornate frame around it. The history of frames is actually quite complex and long. While I'd love to give you all the background, I'll cut it down to the few basics. Mostly, picture frames started to be a thing during the Renaissance in Italy. It started by framing religious paintings for the Catholic Church and snowballed from there. The Northern Renaissance paintings had a sort of planed frame that had ebony around them, and when people started to get their portraits painted, the frames really became a necessity. However, what I'm interested for our purposes today is King Louis XIV of France. He referred to himself as the Sun King because he had a lot of money and thought that he was pretty great and powerful, much like we really need the sun. We don't need to get into politics or personal opinions. However, I will say that King Louis XIV really loved gold. It reminded him of the sun. Look at the gate to his castle entrance. Should you ever find yourself at Versailles, you will see lots of gold, lots of decoration, and lots of suns. And sunflowers, of course. King Louis loved to collect art, especially paintings of himself dressed in his finest robes and tights, and would choose very ornate or decorative frames for them. I think it only made people who saw him feel like he was super rich and important, which I guess he was. Look at these beautiful oil paintings behind me. All the frames are different, decorative, but perfectly complement the paintings inside them. My favorite is of the beautiful woman. She has a very pretty picture frame, and she happens to be one of my favorite people. If we're making art all the time, don't you think we should have fun making a frame as well? This project is small, but it packs a lot of punch and fun.